So this is going to be a question. Is the 30th anniversary going to be darker than most seasons? And I kind of think it is. So let's kind of talk about it. For a very long time now, every single Power Ranger fan has wanted a darker series, darker than most, or just enough darkness to make sure that it isn't as much as like a DC kind of property or anything too bad to take away from the magic of the Power Rangers. As long as I can remember, especially I think as we're mainly more adults, that's how we want the tone of the show to be. We've seen it slightly with RPM, we've seen it slightly with a few other places. I would say the 2017 film was really dark at the same time, but I feel like this is what fans want, and this is how fans are going to kind of want this for a very, very long time. From what kind of looking over the 30th anniversary, I can really see that this is going to be a lot darker than we're used to. And I'm kind of thinking, is this because the 30th is actually shot for the fans that grew up with the show, or is it again being aimed for kids? And to be fair, while thinking about it, if it's aimed at kids, I think it would ruin a lot of different things. But if it's mainly for the adult audience that we all are, I generally think that this would be a really good thing to make it a slightly darker than usual, because we've all grown up, we all know what we want, and again, it should be for the fans that grew up with the series. Again, if you're marketing this for kids, then they probably don't know Mighty Morphing, or they've seen Mighty Morphing very briefly, but the 30th needs, I think, to be for the more adult audience, but not too adult where it's actually ruined the brand. Now, the reason why I think this is a lot more darker than normal is some of the press shots that we've seen, or some of the video. We've seen Charlie, Walter, and David at the cemetery where they're probably looking at Trini's grave. I don't think that they're going to put Jason David Frank in there, because again, that would mess up the continuity for everything for the Tommy character. So I think that this is mainly going to be around about Trini. And again, it's kind of more, not morbid, I would say, but it's a little bit different, because if you imagine, like, Power Rangers has never really kind of done this whatsoever. They did it once, which I'll explain later on in the video, but they've never really gone down this road of, yeah, a Ranger has fallen. And I feel like if or when they do this, that this will then open up the whole series to be something a little bit more, and to see the reaction. I feel like this is a reaction type thing of seeing is, will this do a bit more? Because we're going to see a lot more with the series moving forward if, say, Harvey loses his arm or whatnot. That's, again, a darker tone that, again, really actually isn't in the Power Ranger history. It's going to be something a little bit different, which I'm all here for. I generally think would be a fantastic thing. Power Rangers needs more of an adult tone. It always has, to kind of move it forward with how things are in the world. Again, Power Rangers has always been this shiny thing that's been in the past that hasn't really matured, or when it did, went straight back down to where it was back in the 90s. Now, we know that Twee has passed on. We knew that she passed on such a long time ago from the car accident and stuff like that, but it has never been acknowledged in the show. The only thing that we've seen is when they put up that kind of card at the very end of Time Force, where it says, like, you know, in memory of Twee. But to actually acknowledge that Trini has died would be a huge major step for the show in my eyes, which is something, again, we've not seen at all, and I would really like that, because it just means that, you know, they wouldn't recast Trini much later on. Trini's character, unfortunately, has passed on, and that would be it. It would be a very sad thing, believe me, but I do believe that this would actually add more darkness to the tone to make it more of, like, say, a teen adult type thing, like young teens and stuff like that, or is it early adult, whichever way the ratings are for the show. The only other time that this was referenced was in Lost Galaxy, when Kendrix actually passed on. And, you know, she was destroyed type thing. She turned into a ghost and she passed on her powers. And thus, therefore, when at the very end of the series that she came back, and that was just due to the actress actually recovering from cancer, and that she actually came back in the show. But if that had been a thing where that they didn't want to bring her back at all, that would have been the first ever Ranger death that we would have seen, and again, it would have marked something completely different. Either way that you look at this, I feel like if you did this properly, it would mean that the show would be moving in a direction that has never really been touched before, and it would be something completely new and actually I think move it forward, as I previously have said. But again, like, I'm hoping that the 30th is actually more kind of aimed directly at, say, the older fans rather than, say, the kids and stuff like that, because I feel like this needs to be done for the fans that grew up and have supported Power Rangers all the way through, and not just oh yeah, we got to think of this and let's put some jokes in. Some jokes are good, don't get me wrong, but we've got to have a pie in the face or something like that. Another big thing is that we've seen Billy battle damage. He's got cuts, he's got a few bruises, and yeah, we normally kind of see this, but it's normally sometimes at the very end of the series, the battle has been done and stuff like that. But sometimes we don't normally see like hurt Rangers to the point where they've got cuts in their lips, you know, they're hurt from everything. So seeing this to me is something that I'm really excited about. I really want to see how they kind of like do this on a huge big scale, rather than it just be, say, generic, oh, I've got a little bit of blood on my face, and then it's never really addressed. I want to see the Rangers be beat up. I really do. And I think that we're going to see this quite a bit all the way through the 30th anniversary. With seeing all the photos, everything kind of going around, I do believe that this is going to be a much darker series than what we've had before. I feel like this would possibly have RPM type roots and stuff like that, and I'm here for it. I really want this to happen because I want to see how you can take Power Rangers, you know, that have been around for almost 30 years, well, 30 years now, but from when we were kids, we want to see a bit more. We want to see, you know, characters flushed out. We want to see more, effectively more violence in this. You know, it's time for the show to actually move into this, and I'm hoping that 30th is. Now, my main question is, do you think that this is going to be a lot darker than what we've had before? Is this going to be the right amount of kind of darkness? I don't know how to say it. It's just darkness. Do you think this is going to be more adult toned than anything, or do you think it's just going to stay the same as, like, say, Dino Fury, as well as like the previous seasons? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this sort of video, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you later. Don't forget, you want to check out all the other videos that we've done on the channel. I've done on the channel. Then check out anything in the blue box at the very end. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。